Is this thing on? Welcome to Wintercroft Investigations. You are now a member of an organization that has been seeking the truth since the 1930s. While many of our cases are in the vicinity of our New York City and San Francisco locations, you should be prepared to travel around the country and eventually the world. You will handle investigations that may seem small to you, but mean the world to our clientele. There will also be times when you are paired up with other investigators for larger cases. You may have heard rumors that we investigate the esoteric and mystical side of things as well. And those rumors would be correct. Here we believe that the truth is paramount, no matter how ridiculous or absurd it may seem on the surface. Now that you are one of us, we hope that you will keep the tradition of truth alive and close to your heart.
Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of not Below the Land of Fire, but of Wintercroft Investigations. I am Lafliv Lindy and I will be the keeper of arcane lore for this evening, and we are joined with our very lovely player tonight, Hannah. Hannah, how are you this evening?
Hi, I am doing okay, and I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Lindy.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, tonight is Hannah's solo session because the group in Below the Land of Fire needs some backup, so Wintercroft is going to be sending someone, but we have to introduce that someone to the game first, because much like the other group, this is Hannah's first time playing Call of Cthulhu, so this is going to be her intro adventure. We'll get into it, but first, why don't you tell me who you're playing?
I am playing Dr. Bronwyn Hughs, who is a transfer over from the much smaller UK branch. So this is her first sort of big investigation in the big leagues, you know?
Yes. Yeah, transferred over from the MacDrew agency to Wintercroft because the benefits are really good and you get to travel a lot more, and you know, there's just lots of reasons one would
so many
transfer.
reasons.
So many reasons. And it's very exciting to have a doctor. So we're going to start off tonight's session. Let's say in your apartment in New York City, you've got a nice little loft apartment.
Very small.
Very small, but with two delightfully fluffy kitty cats.
Yes, my two lovely kitties, Mac and Drew.
I love them so much. I want to pet them, but my cat has run off somewhere, so I'm catless at the moment. I'll just stroke this lobster instead.
You can probably hear my cat crying in the background, so
surprisingly,
we have
we
ambient
can.
noise. Oh, okay.
Good noise cancellation, Zoom. But yes, so why don't you tell us what Bronwyn's apartment looks like a little bit?
It is a very small apartment to begin with, you know, New York City, but it looks like somebody who has tried to arrange sort of a live, laugh, love looking sunshine and aesthetic apartment, but most of it is just all over the tables. So this is someone who is kind of got started moving in, tried to make things pretty, and then got easily distracted immediately. So
story of my life, right there. And let's say it's a wonderful, let's say like a Monday afternoon in November of 1985. And what does Dr. Hughs look like?
Dr. Hughs is a petite woman. She is very, you know, influenced by the fashion of the time, sort of the cover of
shoulder pads.
Exactly, the magazine models that you see. She's, despite being someone who's very much wrapped up in her professional life, she's also very much wrapped up in her appearance. So she wants to make sure that she's taken seriously, or if not seriously, at least, you know, that people will like her on sight because she's pretty, which, you know, is important when you're a woman in the working field in the 80s.
It's very important as a working woman in the field in the 80s. Thankfully, Wintercroft is actually really good at employing lots of women, and they have since the 1930s. In fact, half their founders are ladies, so...
Right, which is awesome.
It's pretty great. Good benefits. So you're just chilling. You've got your cats. You're probably maybe trying to organize a little bit of this mess on the table. When you receive a phone call. Bring, bring, bring.
She will pick up the phone, which I assume is some kind of like rotary phone or something on the wall.
You probably have a rotary phone. Yeah, those are all the rage.
And the cats are getting tangled in the long cord as it's like she's trying to shoo them away, and she's sort of getting herself wrapped up in the cord.
I think it's the best game ever. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hello there. This is Carol at Wintercroft. We've got a job for you if you want to come in. We've got something that's come up if you don't mind. If you have the time this week, it's gonna be overseas.
Yeah, of course. Oh, overseas? Yes, of course.
All right,
what
that's
is it
wonderful.
Exactly. Where? Overseas, if you don't mind.
Well, the details will be in the mission briefing, but I can tell you at least it's gonna be in Africa.
Oh, Africa. Okay, so I'd need to board the... Oh, maybe I think my neighbor could... Okay, anyway, yes. That sounds great. Excellent.
All right, wonderful lot door. See you in, when you come in.
I
don't need a rush.
She hangs up.
Oh, okay. That's... She gets
don't need to rush is not in her vocabulary.
And so you've been summoned. You've gotten the call from Wintercroft. You've been doing a lot of local work kind of lately. There's been a lot of files that need to be gone through at the agency itself. Anything that's been medical in nature has been flung at you.
Oh, good.
But this is an overseas call, which is very exciting. You haven't had one of those in a little bit. How does Dr. Bronwyn pack? Is she a light packer, a heavy packer?
Ooh, she makes sure to have the essentials, which means at least 2 pairs of heels. So her suitcase is probably larger than you would expect for someone who is part of an investigation agency and probably needs to get around easily. But this is her first big thing, so she hasn't quite learned that yet. So until she gets there, the suitcase is going to probably be a bit of a bumpy ride.
Practice makes perfect. So you get that suitcase. You're able to take the subway to Wintercroft. It's not that far. It probably takes you about 40 minutes in total from apartment starting to pack to getting there. When you get in, you see Carol. She is the front desk receptionist of the New York location of Wintercroft.
Oh,
hello there. Would you like some coffee or tea?
Oh, tea would be great, thanks.
All right, we've got oh gosh, yeah, we always have whatever. She just holds out a bunch of varieties to you. There's like Irish breakfast, English breakfast, green tea, Ceylon, Darjeeling. Someone at Wintercroft really likes tea, and so there is a wide variety always available to you.
Okay, I'm gonna take some just regular old green tea, make myself a cup.
All right, love. If you go up third door on the left, you'll see your mission briefing ready. Just push the big red button when you're ready to watch
there she goes.
Oh, okay. She's such a go-getter, that doctor. And she starts assembling like a little manila envelope for you. You go into the mission briefing room. There is a couple of like really cozy, almost like lazy boy-esque armchairs for one to sit in, a film projector with a big red button, and a note that says, "Please don't touch anything other than this." And you see the projector screen in front of you. So you push the big red button and sit down. I would like you to watch your mission briefing.
All right, investigator, here's what's going on. On my last trip to Africa, on my reserve doing preservation work for the black rhino, they're endangered, I heard some of my staff talking about how Kongamato sightings have increased around the Jiundu Swamp. So, of course, I had to ask what a Kongamato was. And it turns out that it is more than likely a pterodactyl. A real-life dinosaur. Apparently, these creatures have been seen periodically by the locals for centuries, and the last published sightings of one of these beasts was as recent as 1958 in the Illustrated London News. So I'm just gonna drop you off at the West 7 airstrip in Zambia for, let's say about 2 nights. We've hired a local guide for you, so get out into that swamp and find us a pterodactyl.
All right, then.
That's your mission briefing. The film rolls to a stop. And then, like, a little pop-up on the left-hand side goes, please rewind. And then parentheses, only for the person operating this machine, underneath it. Basically, so whoever comes into the room after you knows that this is this has been watched.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your tea. What would you like to do next?
Well, do I know where to go in order to head out to my mission briefing?
Carol probably has your plane tickets and all their other things that you need. She usually has the manila envelope, but there's also a nice spread of like bagels and donuts and things behind on a table behind you if you need any snacks.
I will take at least 2 donuts, sort of wrap them up in a little napkin, and I will head back out to Carol. I finished up my watching the.
Great, wonderful. I've got this manila envelope for you. It's got some of the details. You can review them on your flight. I've got you on a red eye over to Zambia. You're going to be landing at the Lusaka airport. That's the capital. And there, actually, 2 of our founders are there right now. Mrs. Acacia Lexington and her husband, Ash Lexington. They're going to fill you in on more details. They're the ones who found out about this whole matter right at the moment, and they'll be taking you to the swamp, the Jiundu Swamp, I believe. So, do you have any questions or anything you need from me?
What do you think it is? Do you think it's actually, a pterodactyl?
I've learned to stop speculating as the receptionist. There's just too many. It just could go too many ways, really. But it's probably nothing, honestly. If I had to guess, it's probably. Although, I heard that they dug up a T-Rex skeleton in the 30s in Antarctica, so it wouldn't. I mean, if a dinosaur was gonna hide anywhere, I guess Africa would be the place. Now you've got me speculating. All right, I'll call a taxi for you. They'll be outside in a couple minutes.
Cheers.
It calls a taxi. It's a couple minutes. Taxi's ready to take you to Lusaka Airport. It's gonna be an overnight flight because you had to cross over the Atlantic. So you'll get there bright and early in the morning. On the plane, you get business class, so you get a little bit more room, get to stretch out. In the 80s, business class was nicer than business classes today. And so, do you review the information?
Yes, I would like to read my information while I am on the plane.
Inside the information, you find there's actually several copied pages of a book called In Witchbound Africa. It was written in the 30s. I actually see a couple of the pictures were in the mission briefing from that book. It's an account of the primitive Kaunde tribe and their beliefs, first edition. And it's got some more details about Kangamato sightings and that actually, can you give me a library use roll? First roll in the game, just to see how much you get from all these notes in the book.
Library use. Let's give that a roll. Ooh, a failure.
Failure. All right. So you will learn some things. You just might not learn all of the things. But you have a couple options since this is your first roll. Yeah, you can accept the failure. You can spend luck. I wouldn't spend luck on this roll.
I'm gonna keep my luck. It's
or you
too early in the game.
Try to push the roll, which with this one you would need to roll a 13 or less.
Nope. Let's just be uneducated until we get to the ground.
That's you will definitely learn more on the ground. So you read through. Apparently, people have been saying that there's a Kangamato in the area for centuries, and when this British explorer was out with this tribe to learn more about their culture. He heard their descriptions of it, and showed them pictures of dinosaurs in a book, and they didn't recognize any of them except the pterodactyl, which they also called a Kongamato, and could describe it vividly, apparently. Bit interesting, and then there's a couple other mentions of it in, like, a news article in the 50s. At the turn of the century, there was someone who apparently wrote about it in a journal. There's been sightings, apparently, of this Kongamato pterodactyl-like creature. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hughs, does Bronwyn sleep on planes? Is she an awake on a plane kind of girl? How does she deal with travel?
Oh, she'll sleep on the plane.
I'm so envious. I cannot sleep on planes, so...
Bronwyn is very hard to flap. She is unflappable, so sleeping on planes is...
I'm like a pterodactyl. Anyways, that's bad. So yes, wonderful. You get a good night's sleep on the plane. You do some reviewing of your documents. You get a good night's sleep. And before you know it, you're landing in Lusaka pretty early. It's like 8 a.m. You get to the airport. You've heard that Miss Lexington is and Ash. She has a plane. It's called the Belle. It is a 1933 Northrop Delta for you aviation nerds out there. And she's got her little, like, hangar on the side of the airport, so you can tell people you need to get to hangar, blah, blah, get the hangar number. And, like, a little vehicle will taxi you out there with your suitcase. And you see this airplane sitting there. It looks like it's getting refueled right now. Like, it's not quite ready to go, but he'll be ready soon. And there are 3 people just kind of hanging around the plane. You see an older couple dressed in full safari getup. There's no other way to describe what they're wearing. It is full safari getup. And you see someone dressed kind of like a butler beside them. He looks middle-aged and very, very bored. Very done.
You seem like the right people.
They do seem that this is probably them. You would guess that the couple is maybe Acacia and Ash Lexington. You've seen, like, their picture at Wintercroft, a couple of photos and things. She's also sometimes in the New York Times for her little escapades or investments, as she is one of those, like, 1920s, 30s millionairesses that got money from investing in industry at the turn of the century, that kind of thing. You see the two gentlemen are sitting and chatting and having tea, and the lady seems to be checking over the plane.
Okay.
How do you approach?
Well, I would approach the lady, I assume, because she's not in the middle of talking to someone else. So
she is not.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt. Is this the Wintercroft?
Oh yes, you must be the investigator. I think it was Dr. Hughes.
Yes, that's me. I'm Dr. Hughes.
Oh, wonderful to meet you. I'm Acacia Lexington.
Oh, wonderful.
So nice to see the bright and youthful doing expeditions and things. Tequila?
Oh, yes, please. And she'll take a swig and hand it back.
It's very good tequila. Yes, thank you for coming. If you would just bring over your suitcase to Bob will put it on the plane.
Oh,
she
sure.
Gestures to the butler.
She brings her suitcase over to Bob. It is, bright pink and
I love it.
Hard to lift for her. It's probably, she's small, so it's probably half her size. But, Bob, I assume, is used to lifting things. So she will just roll it over and, like, park it by Bob and be like, here you go. If you could, please be careful. There's some, breakables in there.
Bob, could you be a dear and load the lady's suitcase? And he just looks at Acacia, looks at Ash, sighs, and goes, "Of course, madam. Nothing would bring me more joy." He picks it up. Like it doesn't weigh much to him. He just picks it up and walks onto the plane with it. Puts it away. And Ash, standing there, was like, oh, thanks, Bob. I really appreciate you doing that for me. You must be Dr. Hughes.
Aye, that's me.
Yes, oh, good, wonderful, wonderful. So glad to have you here. Yes, my wife and I, we heard some interesting rumors last time we were out on, the reserve. Something that her father picked up at the turn of the century or something. We've got to do some nature preservation work, counting how many black rhinoceroses are there. They're very, very extinct, apparently. And there've been more poachers and trying to trespass on reserves and the like, so we're going to be doing flyovers and counting things. But while we're doing that, we'd like you to look into this Kongamato dealio we've got going on. Don't pardon the hanger cats there. They're everywhere. They keep the mice down.
That's fine, I've got two of myself.
Oh,
But,
good.
So, you're going to be dropping me off then? Or
Yes,
how's
yes,
that
no.
work?
We're going to be dropping you off at the West 7
Do you mind if I
airstrip.
smoke?
Oh, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
And, he'll actually offer you a light. He's got a lighter.
Cheers.
So we'll be dropping you off at the West 7 airstrip for, I think she said about 2 nights. That should be enough time to get there. We've hired a survivalist in the area. I knock over the flask. We've hired a survivalist and a local guide to drive you through the area to, keep your eye out for sightings and things.
Sure.
There's not a lot of people near the Jiundu Swamps. It's a bit of a not quite a no man's land, but it's not densely populated, so you really shouldn't be running into hardly anyone off outside of the airstrip.
Will I be able to call back if there's a problem?
Not really. Sorry about that. Airplane, she's putting it together. That thing's been through a lot. But anyways, we've got some long-range radios, but whether or not they'll be actually working is... We hope they will, but sometimes there's interference, in such a long distance. I mean, the reserve's not next to the Jiundu Swamps exactly, but, You'll have your survivalist with you, and,
Sure.
he's been doing this quite a long time, so you should be fine.
Right.
Yes, so we'll drop you off there today, you'll have tonight, tomorrow night, and then we'll come pick you up on the 3rd day.
That's sure.
Alright. Do you need help with that, sweetheart? I've got it! I've been doing this for 50 years. I'm perfectly capable. 60 years, actually. Alright, dear, just let me know. And he gets a cigarette himself and lights it up. We should be getting off the ground soon. Just as soon as she's done with the check ride. The pre-check, make sure everything's good, and I think they're almost done fueling her up. Don't worry, the Bell's a great plane. It's arrived in Antarctica.
Oh, did it?
Yep. He looks and he's like, that's where I met my wife. It's a difficult time, but, they say love blossoms through adversity.
In Antarctica?
Aye.
Didn't realize.
All right, we're ready. Great. So if you would, we're ready. Bob, you've loaded the suitcase. Yes, sir, I have. Oh, this is Bob, by the way. Sorry we didn't introduce you.
Cheers.
He's been with us for a very long time. He goes, too long, sir, but not for much longer. That's right, Bob, not for much longer. He looks a little awkward and just goes onto the plane. And as it's just you and Bob, he goes, excuse me, Dr. Hughes, you haven't seen any strange penguins recently?
I'm sorry, penguins?
Yes.
Here?
Anywhere, really.
In, no. Am I...
Very good.
Is that something that I... Okay.
And you get on the plane and you see Miss Lexington paying the people who've come by to take the fuel nozzle away. And, it's like a fuel truck. They take it away and she goes, all right, there you are. Now, everyone get ready to fly. And you get in the plane.
Why?
Ashes, I
Congrats.
recommend wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah, I.
And Acacia, gets in the plane and, gets in the pilot's seat.
Oh,
Fun fact, drinking and flying isn't illegal for 4 more years, 1989.
are we sure we should be leaving right now? Guess that maybe we should.
Well, it's comparative to when?
Okay, look, we'll leave right this second then. That's
Alright. Don't worry, I fly better with a little tipple in it.
Sure. Don't think that's medically accurate, but you know what? I'm not.
Not illegal, especially in Africa, but even in the United States.
What do I know? Right.
1989,
Sure.
years still. A lot of drunk pilots in the 80s. That's kind of why they made a law, actually. Fun facts from the day with Lindy. Now we get to see how well she flies the plane.
Oh God, it's up to a roll.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Good. Then I won't worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it. So plane takes off. It's a little bit of a rough start, but once you're in the air, you're pretty good. That's my plane sound effect. Fly from Lusaka all the way to the West 7 airstrip, right outside the Jiundu Swamps in Zambia. It's very rural here. You don't see hardly any buildings inside. You hear Miss Lexington on with traffic control as y'all are leaving. She was like, oh goodness. Did we check in with them? I sure hope they cleared the landing strip. I mean, no one's been there in months. So it should be fine.
You can check in with.
It's just flying along. It's not as bad as you thought it would be. The flight. But now we have to check the landing. Oh no! That would be a critical fail. So Miss Lexington is going to push the roll. Which means it'll be worse if she fails. But she's got a pretty good pilot score, so I wouldn't...
Well, it's it wouldn't be the first time I've died in my session 0. This is cool. Just make a new character and come back next week. It's
just
fun.
make a new character. I'm like, oh, sorry everyone, false start. Dr. Bronwyn died in session 0 because drunk pilots were a thing. Alright, here we go. Fingers crossed.
Wendy.
That is not a success on the pushed roll. You can't spend luck on a pushed roll, so... Not how I thought this session was gonna start out, but here we go. Oh no! You just hear from the cockpit. Everybody hold on! It's a very bumpy landing. You hear a lot of scraping. It looks like the airstrip wasn't cleared before y'all got here, despite giving some heads up. Yeah, that cigarette's not in your mouth anymore. You're gonna need to light a new one. Let's see how intact the plane is. That's gonna be a luck check for Miss Lexington. Okay. Alright. The plane has sustained some damage, but it's not gonna be, it needs to be fixed before flying more today. But you made it to the West 7 airstrip, and you're all alive. She goes, well, drat, I don't think we're gonna be surveying them rhinoceroses today. Oh, goodness. I need need to do a survey to see how much damage the plane's sustained.
Maybe you should lie down for a little bit beforehand and, drink some water.
I'm fine.
Water.
Look, it was a bit of a bumpy landing. I'm just gonna go do some checks. She stumbles out of the plane a little bit. If you want to, you can make a first aid check to make sure everybody's okay.
Sure.
From that lady. It was a bit rough. You had your seat, but thankfully everyone had their seatbelts on. So there's no severe injuries.
First aid check. Hey, it was a success.
Success. All right. So no one is concussed. There are some bruises that some people have. You're gonna hand out some Tylenol. Basically, you're gonna pass out some Tylenol. Hand Miss Lexington a bottle of water, probably. And it's not long after you do some first aid checks on everyone. Bob seems actually 100% fine. He is totally fine. He's good. But the two older people, the Lexingtons, they're a little bruised up, but they'll be okay. No concussions. The alcohol prevented that. Because they're all loosey-goosey, nothing quite broken, or sprained or pulled, but, it'll be fine. There's some people that are approaching the airstrip.
Okay. I will go up and see who these people are.
You do. It's a bunch of kids, and one really, really, really old lady. They're like, wow, we thought your plane was going to crash.
I
can't believe you're alive. It was
But everybody seems to be okay. So.
Oh, that's great. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Bronwyn Hughs. I'm here to, take a...
You're a doctor?
I'm a doctor.
Like with a stethoscope?
Oh, aye. Yeah, that stethoscope, but it's in my bag right now, so I'd have to go in. Yeah.
Okay. Are you like a people doctor or an animal doctor?
A people doctor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why are you here?
I'm just here to help with the service, or to take a look around. We heard there were some interesting, animals in the area that were worth surveying.
Gotta be careful, though.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Because the Kongamato might get you.
Oh, you know about that, then?
Everyone knows about the Kongamato.
Have you seen it?
Well, not directly, but like in the distance.
In the distance where?
Like
if you don't mind telling me, I'd love to see it myself.
So he's got scaly red skin and rows of razor sharp teeth. It can fly and swim.
Fly and swim?
Yeah, it's got it's like this. My arms aren't long enough to show you how big it is.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah,
then.
it's like from Mali all the way over to me big. Which it's like 7-8 feet. You'd guess. It's like that big, but no one has gotten close to it and lived to tell the tale.
Oh, so people have tried to get close to it.
Yeah, they don't like it. So, yeah, sometimes, my uncles, cousins, grandpa once told me that sometimes when, you're a guy's in the boat and the boat slows down and then stops, no matter how hard you're pedaling, it's because the Kangamatos grabbed the boat from underneath and it's gonna eat you.
Okay, so it can stay underwater for a significant amount of time then?
Yeah. And then another kid comes up and goes, yeah, this is really dangerous and it's gonna don't let it eat you.
I only heard about half of that.
Oh, sorry, I must have been too high pitched for my mic to pick up. It's really dangerous, so don't let it eat you.
Oh, no, I don't. That's, that's part of my plan is to not be eaten.
Yeah,
but, any pointers that you have to that degree is...
Its favorite parts of a person are, its two little toes, their two little fingers, and your ears and your nose.
Is that... Who told you this? Is this
Everybody knows.
Oh, everybody knows
Everybody
that.
knows that, yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning. You have to understand. I'm
Oh.
still learning about this.
So you're probably not gonna make it back then. It
Oh,
was really nice knowing you,
okay.
Miss Doctor Lady.
But if you could tell me anything else that would help me to, in case I run into the monster, if I could, know how to get away from its clutches. Just, cover my ears, my nose, my pinkies,
And your two pinky toes.
and my toes. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess just if you see it up close, it's too late. So try to keep your eyes peeled from a distance.
Okay. From a distance.
Yeah, because if it sees you and you're not that far away, it's just gonna eat you.
Have you seen people be eaten by it?
Well, no, because anyone who gets close gets eaten. We don't get to see them again.
So nobody has actually observed from a distance someone
Up
getting too close.
Yeah, you gotta see it real far away. That flies over and soars the sky.
And you've seen this creature, the one that soars in the sky, you've seen it actually dive into the water and stay there. You know it's the same creature in the sky and in the water.
Not that close. I just know, because all the old people, they tell us about all the things it can do. But we've seen it in the sky recently, like a week ago.
And where did you see it a week ago
It was
in
over
the sky?
the swamps.
Over the swamps?
Yeah.
Okay. And how far away from here are the swamps about? Do you think somebody could take me there?
Yeah. Mr. Lewis is supposed to take you, I think.
Oh,
and
okay.
hear that, you hear like a vehicle pull up. And I'm gonna make a check for the plane, actually. Oh, okay. Oh well, it looks like I'll be able to fix it with the spare parts that we have.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes. So don't worry about us. We'll probably be able to finish our service. We'll just have to cut it a bit short. We'll still be here to pick you up in a couple of nights, but it's gonna take me probably the afternoon to fix this. And you see, she pulls out a wrench and starts opening up some panels and things. And a 1960 Land Rover pulls up, and you see a man with a magnificent mustache.
Ooh.
50s, 60s. Looks like he's late 50s, early 60s. And he's got on some khakis. He's got a pith helmet. He's like, oh yes, hello. Nice to meet you, Miss Lexington. And she's like, oh, Mr. Lewis. And they greet, and he's like, oh, see the boat had a bit of a rough landing. She's like, oh yeah, there's debris in the runway. And he's like, oh yes, I see. Just the young lady I'm going to be showing around the swamps.
Oh, I'm Dr. Bronwyn Hughs.
Hey, my name's Clark Lewis.
Wonderful.
Yes, Clark Lewis, and this is Charlotte. And he slaps the hood of the Land Rover.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
Great.
she's my faithful steed and would guide us valiantly through the Jiundu Swamps. Yes. Right. And you see there's a lot of supplies in the back of the Land Rover. Looks like there's some tents, a lot of survival gear, some machetes. You see a hunting rifle, a tranquilizer gun, machetes. There's a lot of equipment back there. Looks like you're pretty well stocked.
Yeah, right, but is there room for my suitcase?
Yes, there will be room for your suitcase.
Okay.
Yes. Land Rover's pretty big, and there's just the two of you riding in it, so there'll be room. But it does look like you're rather well stocked.
Okay.
There's some MREs in the back, lots of jugs of water. There's a lot of supplies. It looks like you'll be good. It looks like there's a week's worth of supplies in there.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. So he was, all right, very good. You must be you said Dr. Hughes.
Aye, Dr. Hughes.
All right, sir. Yes, I'm Mr. Lewis, Mr. Clark. You can call me Clark, rather than Mr. Lewis. Yes.
Grand, Clark. You can call me Bronwyn then.
All right, wonderful. Shall we be off? This conga
Let me
motto.
go get my things and.
Oh, certainly. Let me help you with that. Yes.
Okay.
He'll be like, oh, that's quite bright. As he picks up your suitcase. Oh, well, but that is visible. You'll lose it this way.
It helps me find it. You know.
I bet it does. And he puts it into the back of the Land Rover. Right. Well, let's be off. We're going to look for the conga motto. And you see the kids waving. Bye, lady. It was nice knowing you.
Oh, that's so morbid.
I don't mind the children. They hear all sorts of terrible tales of the conga motto. From the
They were just telling me some of the tales as you were pulling up. They said that it could fly in the sky as well as diving down into the waters, and it could stay in the water for a long period of time. Is what they told me.
I myself
have you seen differently? Oh, you haven't seen it at all?
I haven't seen one, no. But the rumors have been increasing as of late, which means there is something out there at the very least.
How long have you been here?
Oh goodness. Well, after the war, I wound up really enjoying Africa, and so I settled down in the Protectorate of Northern Rhodesia. Well, I suppose it's the Republic of Zambia now, but yes, I've been here for several decades now. Really like the place. Well, not specifically here, but elsewhere in Zambia, as we're calling it now. Yes.
Sure.
Although I do enjoy Miss Lexington was kind enough to give me a spot on her reserve that she patrolling the area, making sure poachers aren't about and that kind of thing, and making sure the animals are in decent health. So I've been used to navigating the wilds a bit, you could say. Making sure no vicious lions will get us. Oh my gosh, what are you doing?
She's a set piece, she's helping the ambiance.
She's, if only there was tigers, she'd be perfect. We'll just pretend she's a little lion, or a panther or something, it's fine. Yes, but, let's be off. I'm quite familiar, I've driven through the Jiundu Swamp several times to get from the reserve to, Lusaka and back and such, but I've not really fully explored the areas that used to be home to a bunch of criminals in the 20s and 30s. No one wanted to go in there, and so they were all holed up in there, but the government cleaned them out after the mid-30s, early 40s, and no one's been living in there since, Not really.
But except dinosaurs,
Allegedly, yes. All right, please, buckle up. Better safe than sorry. He starts pulling off in the Range Rover. It's a little bumpy, but the car itself is very well tuned. You are going to be... You'd think it'd be bumpier if this car wasn't maintained as immaculately as it is. Not that one. Well, that's some chill music.
After the plane, a slightly bumpy ride in a Range Rover is not, a can be flat.
Yeah, well, it looks like at least the swamps will have some flat areas. Don't need this right now. And you start to take off, drive through. There's no tall trees in this area. It's all pretty flat. There's some patches of water. Very muddy, more than anything. What trees are there? More like really large bushes, or large bushes are like small trees? There's like patches of them, almost like islands, but it's not quite islands because there's not enough water where you're at for it to be islands, just like little copses of trees scattered throughout. And there's a rough road kind of going through there, and you're just driving along, and I would love for you to give me a spot hidden check to see what you can find as y'all are driving along.
Sure. That is a success.
That is a success. Wonderful. So you're driving along for a few hours, and you notice something off to the side. Seems to be... Yeah, there seems to be something off to your left.
What is that?
Oh.
Can you hold... Just slow the car down for a second.
Sure, I see.
What do I see?
It's hard to tell. It looks like there's a mound of something, but it's behind a couple of the bushes off the road.
Does the mound seem to be moving at all? Like, is
Does
there
not.
anything that indicates
Well,
that
you've
it's
not
breathing?
seen anything like that. No, you don't see any breathing or movement at all. Just different from the regular scenery, so it caught your attention.
Okay. Can I get off the...
Oh, certainly.
Sure.
Yes, one of them. Yeah, go ahead. I'll come with you. And he leaves the keys in. There's nobody here to take the car. And we'll hop out, and he'll actually get his tranquilizer gun and sling it over his shoulder, just to better safe than sorry. And now what did you see? This where?
Over here. I just wanted to investigate this a little bit closer. It just seemed
Certainly.
out of place, you know.
Oh yes.
Not that I know what exactly is in place around
No,
here.
no, no. There's a large thing. It's not moving. Oh dear. You get around behind this little cluster of bushes, and you see that there is a dead elephant here.
Oh,
But this elephant does not look like it died of natural causes. It is partially decayed. It's been here for maybe a week or so. It is missing its tusks, its trunk, and its feet.
wow, bastards.
And it seems to have been picked up by some scavengers over the last week or so. And you also notice, with your spot hidden check, there are some odd scratch marks on this elephant and on some of the surrounding trees. And some weird footprints in the mud.
You're right. Let me ask you a question. It's missing its nose, its feet, but its
Yes.
ears are intact.
Yes, yes. Strange. Tusks too. Looks probably about
Aye.
a week old. Looks of it.
Aye, but before you came along, the children, they were telling me about how the creature that they spotted here about a week ago, they said that it would like to snack on its prey's soft bits. So like the smallest fingers, the
yes.
smallest toes, the nose, the ears, anything that was, soft
Interesting.
and extraneous. But this
I've heard
thing is
that
not
one.
missing its ears.
It's not, but it's missing all the other things. Quite
Right.
odd.
Is that
Um,
something that poachers take? Do they take the trunk? Do they take the
Usually
feet?
just the tusks, maybe the skin if they want elephant hide, but not usually the trunk or the. That is odd.
No. I'd like to investigate the footprints.
Yes, the footprints are. You've seen like chicken footprints or large bird footprints. It's
Sure.
got like the three. This is terrible. But like the three prong toes. It looks like that, but about this big.
That's not a poacher's footprint.
Good heavens, what is that? That is it's not ostrich. It's far too large to be ostrich. I mean, ostrich is big, but not like that.
Not that big. Do you have any
No.
sort of camera or anything that we can document this with?
You know, I do have. I like the old Polaroids, as the kids say these days. I find them very instant gratification. And let me go get it. And he goes off to Charlotte, and he opens up the back and it pulls out a little Polaroid camera. There you are.
All right. Out comes the instant gratification.
Yep. It's a pretty good footprint. A picture of the footprint.
I'd like to investigate the scratches as well.
Yes. It looks like 3 scratch marks of similar, like, longest ones in the middle and the shorter on each side.
Mm-hmm. And like, how high up the trees do they go?
Ooh, about 10 feet.
Whew. I'll take a picture of that too.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty easy to do with a Polaroid. It's not gonna be amazing quality because it's a Polaroid, but yeah, you're able to.
I mean, as long as we have, proof.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we know that there were poachers in the area because they
True,
said that they
true.
were going after the rhinoceroses, but this is something else.
It's quite disturbing. Not the usual poacher work that I've seen.
I guess we should keep going.
Yeah,
There's
really.
really nothing to... Is there any indication of the direction in which whatever it was that attacked this elephant
It's
went?
interesting. The footprints are there's quite a few of them around the elephant,
Mhm.
and they go off towards like a little bit of water, and then they stop. You don't see any more. It's not like it's like a big puddle. It's probably about yay deep, but about 6 feet wide, 4 feet across. Goes like towards the puddle, and then there's nothing around the puddle. No indicator. Kind of just localized to the area.
All right. Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. So we've got, some evidence solus. Keep going. We'll keep this, if it's okay. Just until the rest we get to where we're going.
Certainly. I'll be driving, so you have the camera ready should we need it. Right, you keep driving. I would like you to make me a luck roll.
Okay. Luck roll. How do I do that?
You'll just click luck. Should pop up.
Oh, there it is. Failure.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll just keep that in mind. So you drive along for a while longer. And give me another spot hidden check.
Sure. Another success.
Another success. So it's been a few more hours by this point. It's getting probably close-ish to dinner time. And you notice a couple more of those footprints off the side of the road.
Hey, stop.
Yes, you see something.
It's more of those weird footprints.
Oh, goodness, yes. Miss buckles and gets out of the car. Grabs the train gun again.
I'm going to take more pictures of these. Ooh.
Okay. Yes, we should probably follow these. Yes, see where they lead.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a little further into the bush. All right. Follow the footprints. They're gone for about 5-10 minutes. It's not that far. You are outside the car. And you see quite a little bit of a gruesome scene here. Well, here you see what appears to be the remains of some lions and pangolins.
Okay.
The lions, their head and skin seems to be missing, along with the larger bones. It's hard to even tell it is a lion. Those look like they've been here for a few weeks. Like, it's really hard to tell. But the pangolins, it's a lot easier to tell because there's a bunch of pangolin scales around, and those seem to be like a day or two old. They're not very old at all.
Really?
It seems that they're missing their scales, their feet, their nose, tail, and most of their meat. Like the shell.
So, the lions, it looks like they were clearly poached, because it
does look like the lions were poached, yes.
The skin is what the poachers would usually take, but the pangolins over here, it looks like they had more elements removed from them, and recently.
Quite recent. He like, looks like he does cement mouth. Upsettingly recently, yes.
Do you think it's possible that whatever this thing is, it comes to areas where it already smells blood?
That's a possibility. It could be more of a scavenger type animal, we don't.
Right. It comes around for what's, the soft bits that are still left over for. But. Thank you for removing the threat.
Yes, no, that's what I'm here for.
It comes back around for the bits and bobs that are still left over that are like the soft bits, but with claws, the likes of which we saw demonstrated on those trees back there. It doesn't seem like they would have to go for the soft bits. Do you think they do it just because it's a delicacy?
That could be. It could be easier to eat, perhaps, for the beak, and they don't have to do as much work to get to it, animals do generally prefer to take the easier route. I mean, why
Well,
eat a
something that
porcupine when you
large,
could eat,
you'd think you would have to eat more. Just the nose and the ears and the... Well, hold on. Yeah, just the nose and the ears and the toes, and that wouldn't possibly fill them up.
No, don't think it would. Interesting. Well, maybe that lends to its scavenger nature, perhaps, as you've theorized. I mean, that would make more sense. Maybe it likes those bits the best, but it's willing to scavenge if the need arises. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting to find out here.
No, definitely not.
And much like in the other area, the footprints seem to stop quite abruptly, and no more sign of them past this area.
Do they also stop abruptly at a body of water, or just they stop abruptly?
This one, they just stop abruptly.
Okay, well, we know they can fly, so they've clearly just taken to the sky.
He's gonna make a little roll because he's a survivalist, and whoops, that is exiting the roll 20. I did not want to do that.
Have the lion's feet been removed?
They have been.
Okay.
Interesting. Yes, no, it is very abrupt where they end. It does look like the ground's been kicked up a little bit around this area here. After the fact. I guess if it had wings, that could disturb it or something.
Right.
We'll just probably take some more Polaroids of this.
She'll take pictures of everything that seems, relevant. The missing feet on the lion and all the things missing off of the pangolin.
Right, well, that's all from here. I would think we should get back to Charlotte.
Right.
Right. You get back to Charlotte, the 1960 Land Rover, his baby. And it's having some issues. He left it running in case you needed to get away quickly. It seems to be overheating at this moment in time. Oh, drat! I knew she had a bit of a coolant leak, but I thought I fixed it enough for this. Oh dear. Hand me some water, please, from the back, would you?
She'll go get some water from the back, bring it around. Yeah.
He's going to try to cool off this engine, so you don't have to sit and wait. He does not manage to cool it off. Turn that off for a few minutes. I'm afraid it'll cool down a bit. Got some more coolant. It's a slow seep. Digs through some stuff.
We can do a little more exploring around the area in the meantime. There's, lots to look at.
Sure. If you would, just stay within earshot of the Jeep while I try to fix this.
Sure. She'll go back to the area with the dead
He's
pangolins.
gonna fix it pretty quick. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. She'll just take a couple more snapshots then. Things that she might not have.
Wonderful.
Like the place where the thing took flight.
While you're in that area, could you give me another either perception check or a spot hidden check?
Sure.
Or a nature check as well. One of those two. Natural world or spot hidden, whichever you prefer.
I am not seeing perception.
It's spot hidden.
Oh, okay.
Spot hidden or natural world.
Okay. Ooh, that is a failure on spot hidden.
Yep, you've seen everything there is to see here. You get some pictures, and you hear Charlotte start back up in the background.
She'll rush back to the truck and get back in.
Wonderful. Radio, let's see. Not too far ahead. There, he pulls out like a bit of a map. It's a rough map. This area's not super well mapped out. And he says, not too far ahead. There should be a decent area where you can make camp for the night. Since it's getting about sunset now.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Have you heard from the locals anything about, what time of day it was that they saw the creature come out?
Now you mention it, I often say that it comes out at around dawn and dusk. crepuscular creature, if you will.
Okay.
Suppose if we keep your eyes out on the skies, then we might see it if we make camp.
Maybe we should rush to the camp then. You know.
All right. He adjusts his pith helmet and drives down to, and there is a little bit of a drier spot of an open clearing off the road, where he will begin to set up stuff for camp night. And he'll have you help set up some tents and such.
Sure.
Can you make me just a dex check to see how quickly you two set this thing up?
Absolutely. Dexterity. Ooh, extreme success.
It takes you guys hardly any time at all to set up.
We are very motivated by the fact that he said that the creatures come out at dusk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a motivating factor. So it's not long at all for you to set up some tents, get a little campfire going. He's got like a little camp stove. It looks like tonight's dinner is chili from the can. And it's like some bread, some like rolls he's got in his bag. And it's not long before again the sky starts to turn beautiful shades of pink and purple, and it's a pretty chill nighttime atmosphere.
Do we hear anything?
You hear some more bugs come out. A lot more like cricket sounds. A lot of bugs. You start to see more mosquitoes too. He has like a little bit of bug spray. DEET, it's good for you. Yeah, it helps a bit. And let's see. You failed your luck check earlier, but let's have you make me a listen check. As you're getting all cozy and everything, you start to hear more sounds.
Not very many more sounds.
Okay. So again, with a failure, you can accept the failure, or you can spend luck, or you can push it for half of 45. You'd need about 22 or 23.
Let's push it this time. Let's see what that looks
right.
like. How do I do that?
So you just roll it again, and you need a hard success, or the consequences are a little worse. Nope. Alright. It's noisy. You don't hear anything. It's just the swamp is coming alive now that it's starting to become night. Because, make sure you avoid there shouldn't be any large bodies of water here, but if you see a hippopotamus, lay low. They're very mean. Kill more people than lions every year.
You know, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, even crocodiles let baby hippos chew on their tails because they don't want to incur the wrath of Mama hippopotamus.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Like, if you have a herd of hippopotamuses, and you have a smaller sized crocodile, and if the baby tries to teeth on the crocodile's tail a bit, the crocodile will just let it, because if it snapped the baby hippopotamus, Mama hippopotamus would snap a crocodile in half, and the crocodile knows this.
Alright. She takes note of that.
What I mean. He says, well, if your tent's all ready for the night, I believe I'm going to retire as well.
Alright, I'm gonna stay up for just a little bit more and maybe, enjoy the environment Certainly.
Gonna
listen.
If you need anything, let me know. Here's a machete. Just have it with you just in case.
Oh. Excellent.
Right.
Sits awkwardly with the machete.
He'll go into his tent and goes in a little flap. And it's not long before you hear very loud old man snoring. The sky is beautiful at night. You can see so many stars. There is zero light pollution out here. Aside from the bugs and some of the scarier noises coming from the swamp, so it's quite peaceful. Beautiful.
As it starts to get darker, though, I don't hear anything that seems out of place?
Nothing that seems super out of place. No.
Okay. I'll take one quick last, look around the perimeter of the camp just to see if there's anything
You can give me one more
immediately
spot hidden
apparent.
check then.
Mm-hmm. Let's try that. Ooh,
Ooh, a
barely
success.
squeaked by without success.
In the last vestiges of the hint of setting sun, you see something move. Right above the tree line. About 8-foot wingspan, maybe?
Oh, hell.
In the distance. I've got dinosaur. There we go.
She'll go to the tent where Clark is
Yes.
sleeping and,
Yep. Yes.
Something. Oh, in the trees.
He gets out and he looks, and because you pointed out, he's able to see. By Jove, that might be the Conga motto.
Do you know
Going
what
that way. Follow it.
Can we follow it? Yeah.
It is. It seems that he pretty much sleeps in his safari clothes, so he's ready to be up and out.
Ready at all times.
Ready at all times. You never be too careful out in the bush, you know. The only difference is that he has, instead of his pith helmet, it's like a nightcap with the floppy, little.
Oh my god, I love him.
That's the only difference. And you go through the bush. He says, "Grab that flashlight." Let me see. Flashlight. Or he'll actually call it a torch. Grab that torch, because he's British. Mm-hmm. You'd understand, because you're also from the UK. You're Welsh. All right, yes, it's good. And you see it going. It's getting farther into the distance, and he crosses.
We're loose on it.
And you hear a bit of a shriek, and again, it's just gliding on the air currents. It dips below the tree line every now and then, and it pops back up. And you get to a river, and you stop because it's a river, and it looks to be actually a decent sized river. This one does not look like you could wade across. And you see it go just around the river bend, and you don't see it pop back up. But you do notice, there is a canoe tied just a couple dozen yards away down the river.
Should we go after it in a canoe?
Oh goodness, I hesitate to leave our camp in Charlotte and all our supplies in the middle of the night and go in a canoe. If we can, if you really desire to, but I would recommend.
No, you know what? Tomorrow, we'll
search
do
in
it
the
tomorrow. Yeah. See if it's left behind any carnage that we can sort of track.
Yes, it might leave clues, so if it lands, we might spot more footprints along the riverbank. They do like the water.
That's what I've heard.
Yes, and look at that canoe, too, in the morning. And let's follow our own tracks back for now.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get a Polaroid of that, did you?
Ah, damn, no!
Alright, well, next time.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that cry one last time, fading into the night. By Jove, it might actually be the Conga motto. Good heavens, I'm gonna be too excited to sleep now. As you make your way back to camp.
The cry, it's not anything I've ever heard before, right?
It is, give me a natural world check.
Okay. Nope.
Nope. Nothing you've ever heard before.
All right. Well, we can head back to camp following our footprints.
Easy enough to do. Follow your footprints back to camp. You kind of just whacked a bunch of brush out of the way, so there's quite an easy trail to follow. You're gonna be able to find us no problems in the morning as well. The campfire has dwindled down to some embers. He puts some more wood on it, stokes it back up a bit to help keep things away. And madam, if you need me, I will be in my tent. Adjusts his little nightcap and goes back into his tent.
Well, I'm gonna get some sleep as well.
Okay. It is, how does Bronwyn sleep while camping? How much of a camper is she?
She sleeps pretty darn well, you know?
She is unflappable.
Mm-hmm. She can sleep pretty much anywhere. She is a doctor, so sometimes she has, long shifts at the hospital, and she has to learn to sleep in wherever she can find. So now she has learned to adapt. She can sleep on a rock.
You're in a swamp, there's not a ton of rocks here, but there are some sticks, some roots.
I can sleep on a stick. There you go.
I will say, Mr. Clark Lewis has some pretty comfy sleeping bags, though, so it's not a bad night. And you wake up the next morning feeling pretty well rested, maybe a little earlier than you would have for the hour you went to sleep at. But it is with the dawn, and the cries of new animals as they wake up and begin their day.
Nothing that sounds like what we heard last night, though, right?
Nothing that sounds like what you heard last night.
Okay.
Right. Then we should, I've got some breakfast, and he pulls out a can of Spam. Smegs. How do you feel about a Spam scramble?
Sounds excellent.
I like to call it a Spamble, but the name isn't quite caught on yet.
I like it.
Chops up the Spam in little dice cube little pieces and scrambles it up with some eggs. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good for camp food. And you guys pack up the camp with not a lot of effort, and able to load everything back up onto Charlotte, the 1960 Land Rover, and go about your day. Oh wait, you wanted to follow the tracks, so you load everything up onto Charlotte, and you go to check out the that canoe, and maybe go down the river a bit. So you go back down the trail you created last night, and yeah, you see that canoe. How's
it look sturdy-wise?
It looks okay. You get up to it. It appears to have been attempted to have been hidden at some point, but whatever branches was covering it have been washed away. There's a couple inches of water in the bottom, probably from the last rain. It could hold a couple people. Not a lot of supplies. It's a smaller canoe.
Is there any way that we could use the Land Rover to follow the trail of the river, or is the canoe pretty much our only option?
Let's carry the canoe back to the Land Rover. I believe there is an offshoot of the trail that kind of goes alongside the river bend, about 15, 20 feet back off the river. We can use that and have the canoe as a backup.
I like it. That sounds excellent. I'm here for it.
Help me carry this. I'm gonna need a strength check to help him carry the canoe.
All right, let's do a strength check. Sure, I'm great at that. Nice.
You're helping. Not a lot, but you're helping, and y'all will get the canoe back to the Range River. You kind of strap it to the top, Got the tie-ons on. He's got the roof rack. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte's got all the bells and whistles that a 1960 river should have. And you start driving along. You're driving along, and remember that luck check I had you roll earlier?
Oh dear. Yes.
My dear, trouble's afoot. And that trouble goes by the name of quicksand. driving along, Range Rover. It's been a couple hours following the river. And quicksand strikes. Charlotte. That's more of a car sound. Nose first into the quicksand. Y'all are going at a pretty decent speed.
Mhm.
No! Not quicksand! Charlotte! No! Unbuckle! Yep. As the car slowly starts to sink in the quicksand. Seems to be a rather large pit of it, covering the entire width of this road, and you're not sure how far deep, but you know how far back it is. Give me an idea check to see if you know how to survive quicksand.
Do I know how to survive quicksand?
An
Let's
idea
see.
check is intelligence. You could just make me an intelligence check.
Oh, okay.
Yes, quicksand is slow, but... there is
Oh
another
my god,
thing.
I'm gonna use luck on that, because that is insulting.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
spend 2 points of luck?
Two
All right.
points of luck.
To take away 2 luck from your luck pool, and,
Okay.
And then, yeah, you succeed. Quicksand. A fear of many people who were children between the 60s and the 90s. Lots of television and movies and all sorts of things depicting quicksand. You probably became concerned about it at some point, and so you looked up how to survive it. It's a lot
I probably
slower
watched
than-
Romancing the Stone or something, and that was my,
Probably, yeah. Turns out quicksand's a lot slower than TV movies show it. Also, it's really hard for people to sink in quicksand because we're less dense than quicksand, therefore we float. So the best thing to do in quicksand is to float on your back and kind of like wiggle your way to shore. However, if anything is more dense than quicksand, for example, a car.
a car.
Pulling a car out of quicksand. Okay, did I write the exact... I did a lot of quicksand research, let me tell you what. It's a lot. You're not gonna be able to get the car out. This is the end for Charlotte, unfortunately. If your leg is stuck in quicksand, just trying to pull it straight out rather than doing the wiggle and lie back thing, it's basically 100 times the amount of force that you would need. Quicksand's a liquid. It is suction. It is trying to pull you down. But humans are thankfully less dense than quicksand. But cars are more dense than quicksand.
How about large pink luggage? Is that more or less dense than quicksand?
That is probably less dense, but it's going to get very messy, and you're gonna want to get it out of Charlotte, because if
Right,
it
of
goes down
course.
with Charlotte, you're not gonna get it back.
It's gone.
So, this is your chance for you and Mr. Clark Lewis to salvage as much gear as you can from Charlotte before she sinks. So, I would like you to make me a dex check to see how quickly you get things off. You probably have someone on the solid ground and someone on Charlotte to throw things to. That's a hard success. That's really good. Let's see what he gets. Not the 1d100,000. 1d100. Nice. That is a success for him. It is not a hard success. But it is a nice number. So combined with your hard success, you are able to get most, not all, but most of the gear out. Instead of having that week's worth of supplies, you guys have a couple days. You get the tents out, you get the canoe, slide that over the top. You get your pink suitcase. You get some food, you get some water, you get the tranquilizer gun, a couple machetes, his rifle. And you watch Charlotte slowly roll down. You both are covered in quicksand. You had to float your way out to shore. It is a mess. Everything you have here is a mess. He's and a tear rolls down his face, and he's like, Charlotte, no.
I'm so sorry,
so much
Clark.
together. No, it's all right. This is the hazards and dangers of Africa. You can't really see quicksand in a swamp until it's upon you. It's a known hazard.
Don't hazard. Goodbye, Charlotte. You served me well. It looks like we're going to have to, hoof it, as they say, from here. At least we have the canoe, if you wanted to take to the river now.
Right. Yeah, that seems like the best course of action.
We will have to make some executive decisions on some of the supplies, though. While your suitcase is rather lovely and indeed rather visible, do you need absolutely everything from it right now, or can we leave it here by the remains of dear Charlotte so we can pick it up on our way back?
Well, let me get my medical supplies out of it, and then
That's a good
everything
call.
else we can leave.
All right. Open it up. There's quicksand in it a bit because, but you know where the zipper is. It's just it's a bit of a mess. But you're able to get your medical supplies out and anything else you want to get from your suitcase. Extra set of clothes, whatever you need. You're able to load up all the important stuff into the canoe, including you also have your little long-range radio. You're able to transfer over to the canoe. It's about lunchtime by this point, so he recommends stopping for a bite to eat, which he's got sandwiches, PB&Js.
Wonderful.
And he sits and he just stares at the quicksand while he eats his PB&J. And a tear rolling down the opposite cheek. He's staying strong. Strong as he can. And, you're able to carry on your way. However, one Range Rover less than you had before.
That's alright. We've got a canoe. We're still heading in the right direction. We saw the beastie.
You did see the beastie. Get to the canoe and he goes, I don't like how much this brings me closer to hippos, but you know, we have to do what we must do.
There's been hippo sightings in this particular river, have there?
Oh, there's everywhere. There's a body of water in Africa. There's probably hippos nearby.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Crocodiles, snakes, all the...
Excuse me, snakes?
Oh, yes.
In the water?
Oh, yes. I do not like snakes.
No.
You leave them alone and they will leave you alone, mostly. Right here. I'll start paddling. Yeah, you've got, he's starting to paddle the canoe. And you've got all the supplies in between you two. He's in the back so he can steer. You've got a paddle in the front so you can just whoosh. You start going down the river. Can you give me a spot hidden check while you go down the river?
Sure.
Wonderful. This brings me joy. Wonderful. You see nothing out of the ordinary. You're following, path of the river, just around the river bend where the Hungamato you saw last night was. It's a bit of a windy day today. Some clouds in the sky, not as clear as the day was yesterday. Excuse me. And, let's see how your guide does on the spot hidden. Maybe he's having a better day. Nope, he's too busy grieving the loss of Charlotte. You're just paddling, upset, and just fine, down the river. Following along, it's a twisty, curving, winding river. You go for a while longer, and you start to, a couple hours later, you actually start to smell some smoke.
You smell that?
What? Yes, what?
Do you smell that?
Smells like smoke.
Were you falling asleep back there?
No, I wasn't trying. Falling asleep.
Where do you think that... Can we sort of tell which direction it's coming from?
Give me a navigation check, or navigate check. I'll have him make one too. He's pretty good at navigating. Not that good though.
Nope, me neither.
But it's on the breeze, and the breeze is coming from that way. So maybe that direction.
Isn't this your job?
Yes, I'm not really quite good at it. It's smoke is a bit tricky to discern origin. It's not an easy feat.
All right. Just keep going then.
There should curve around that way. Wait a bit. Paddle along a bit more. You go for another half hour, and I'd love for you to make me a listen check.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you don't hear anything, but he stops paddling. He's like, hold on a moment. I hear something. Sounds like voices up ahead. We should be quiet. He paddles a little slower, and he's gonna try to be stealthy. I would also like for you to roll me a stealth check. Just to see how quiet you two are. He is not as quiet as he wishes he was. That's great. I mean, it's hard to be quiet in a canoe. I'll give you that much. Unless you're like a trained stealth canoeer. Down. And you see an island up ahead. Campfire. Quite a large fire on the shore, but there is sort of contraption above it to help diffuse the smoke so it's not seen from the air. There's like a lot of little canopies that appear to be made out of those like almost green camouflage leafy looking things that the army sometimes uses, you know, to help disguise things from the air. This whole little, it almost looks like a small settlement, is shrouded with that green bush-like trees. And you see a few figures on the shore. Give me a spot hidden check.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to make out how many there are. Or anything else. There's a few people up ahead. Should we go make ourselves known? Or?
I mean, I guess it can't hurt, right? Do we know how far it is to where we were supposed to be getting to?
Oh,
Could this be it?
Perhaps they've seen the Kongomato or something.
It's worth asking.
We need to be very cautious, though. Here, and he hands you a machete.
Oh.
Unless you know how to use a rifle.
No. I feel
All
like
right.
I'd be more, I could figure this one out.
Alright, then. Just in case they're not friendly. Right. Paddle up and... it's not long because, again, it's hard to be quiet in a canoe. Before you're spotted by the people on the shore. They give a wave. They look cautious.
Hi.
Then
Hi.
They beckon you guys forward.
Oh, they say it's good to land. So come.
Right of the canoe. Kind of get it close enough to land where you can hop off.
Mm-hmm. Hi, we're on an expedition. I'm Dr. Bronwyn Hughs. We were out here looking for signs of.
And they kind of mutter amongst themselves, and someone comes forward. These appears to be like 6 gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Who are all quite burly. One of them, who's dressed a little bit nicer than the others, says, "Oh, hello! Yes, you said you were a doctor."
I am a doctor.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What brings you all the way out here into the middle of the Jiundu Swamps, Lady Doctor?
We're actually here looking for a creature that we've been told exists in this area, and we've seen, a little bit of interesting remnants of its possible existence. So we were just wondering if you gentlemen knew anything about, the existence of such a creature, and maybe you'd seen it and could tell us where we could start looking for more instances of, or maybe clues to.
Why don't you describe it? Come and have a seat by the fire. Must be hard canoeing all this way into the swamp. And describe this creature to me.
I mean, it's not that difficult, but sure, it's not a problem. We can sit down, right? Clark, we can sit for a little while.
Sure.
Wonderful. It's like a pterodactyl type. It's got a large wingspan. We've heard that it can be in the air or in the water, though we haven't seen any proof of it going into the water. We've mostly seen just like footprints in the area, like among the trees. We've heard that it likes to eat people, and that it'll go after your nose and your ears and your little fingers. And
dreadful.
Yeah, you've not heard of this?
I think I've heard locals talk about it or something of this sort. How big is it?
Oh, like 6 to 8 feet wingspan.
Funny, I think I might know the exact creature you're talking about.
Oh, you do? Have you seen it then?
Yeah, some of my men in that part of me, they don't speak English. They might have some tales I can translate for you. Why don't you come sit down and have a... we were just making some coffee this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, coffee sounds excellent. We haven't had, but camp food for the last bit.
Understandable. And he, gestures. There's some, fold-up launchers set around this campfire. And you do see there is some coffee on.
The future is threatened by
But,
enemies
no!
often
Hold on!
unpredictable.
There's an ad on my tab that I had open that had no ads earlier. Sorry about that, Twitch. I was like, where is that sound coming from? Anyways, surprising. Why don't you can call me, Wade.
Wade. Okay.
Wade, yeah. And he sits down, he pours cups of coffee.
Oh, excellent.
Do you take cream or sugar?
Both, please.
Boys, why don't you get some cream and sugar for the ladies? We usually drink it black, but we have some. Get some for our guests. And you see, brings, it looks like a little tin. Scoops out some powdered, it's like the powdered milk. Tins. There you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we saw this, what is it, Kangamato pterodactyl.
Right, the Kongomoto, that's what it's called.
Yeah, just last night we saw it,
Oh, really?
gliding along the riverway.
Yeah, that's where we saw it too. That's why we were coming down this way to try and go after where we saw it disappear to. So it went past here.
Yeah, we saw it go that way, actually. A bit further, deeper into the swamps.
Oh, that's excellent news. So we're on the right path.
So it would seem. Not many people get to see this creature and live to tell the tale, the locals say.
That's what we've heard too.
Dr. Bronwyn, I would love for you to make me a constitution check right about now.
Sure.
A critical success. That is very good for you. Your other person also makes it interesting. Okay. Critical success. You're drinking your coffee. How fast are you drinking your coffee? It's pretty good coffee.
I have probably not had more than a few sips because my mouth has been running
Okay.
a mile a minute.
All right. Yeah. He was, Okay, so it's gonna take a minute then. All right. He goes, yeah. It just seems you were on the right trail indeed. Jerky? And he offers you some beef jerky, it would seem. Or jerky, some kind of jerky.
Oh no, thank you. We just ate, but the coffee is fantastic. Thank you for.
Of course, more than happy to share. Now, you're looking to capture this creature?
Oh, we're just looking to absorb information about it to, bring back some data to inform people. That's sort of what we do. We look for information about these sorts of anomalies.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really? You and this that fine gentleman here?
Yeah. The two of us, we are.
So you're like a doctor, like of science, not of medicine.
Oh, no, I'm a doctor of medicine primarily, though I do dabble in the sciences a little bit.
Dabble.
I have
I love a good bit of dabbling.
Oh,
yeah.
Aye.
Do you want coffee? Top off?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Please, I'd like to. And do you mind if I smoke?
Oh, please. And he offers you a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, fantastic. What a gentleman.
Yep. You're starting to feel a little funny.
Even with a critical success?
With a critical success, you're not unconscious.
Okay.
You feel a little funny. You think he's drinking black coffee. Everyone else is drinking black coffee. Except you and Clark Lewis, who also seems to be a little not feeling so great. You think they might have drugged you.
How interesting.
Yeah.
You know what?
But
This has been lovely, gentlemen. I think we'll be going on our way since we've gotten, some really excellent information from the lot of you. I really appreciate you letting us know that the beastie has come through this way. But I think
I don't think it's a good idea for you to go off on yourself. These things can be quite dangerous, I hear, if you get up close.
Oh, you think so? Well, we don't intend to get that close. You see, we're in a canoe and it's in the air. So I think we should get going now. Clark?
No, yes, going. Go on.
Come on.
Yep.
Forgive him. He's just lost a loved one. He's a little bit out of it. So we should get on our way.
You stand up.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And it's a little spinny. It's a little woozy. But you're not unconscious.
No,
Yeah.
we're good. Our canopy flapped. Goodbye.
Clark, he succeeded, but he did not get a hard success.
Lovely. Well, I'm gonna try to.
It looks like he's
prop him
gonna
up as
be
much as I can.
unconscious soon.
Sooner than we can get to the canoe, or soon after I can get him to the canoe if I can.
It's gonna be a gamble.
All right. What do I have to roll?
Give me you're going to need a hard dex check to get him to the canoe before he passes out.
Let's try it. Oh, come on.
You can spend the luck. It's 20 luck, that's a lot. You could try to push it. You would need a 40. Well, you need a hard success. So you would need
a 20, right?
It would be an extreme now. You would need an extreme success. Which would be out of 80, 20 or less. Yeah, actually, I think. Up to you. A 16. You need a 16 or less.
Oh, that's even worse. You know what? I'm just going to take the failure.
You're going to take the failure?
Yeah,
he does not make it to the canoe before you pass out, which begs the question. Do you leave? He's too heavy for you to carry. You're not a particularly strong individual, and he is a large man. Do you leave him there and get in the canoe yourself, or do you stay with him? These are the hard questions.
I stay with him because I'm a doctor, and this is what I do. So I'm gonna stay with him.
You're gonna stay with him. All right. And they go, "Oh, it seems your companion isn't feeling that well, miss. Don't worry, we've got some fine accommodations you two can stay in until you're feeling better." Boys? And you see, he says that basically in the local language. And you see the burly gentleman. Just just whoop Clark up, and you're again a little woozy, unsteady on your feet, but you're with that crit success, you were going to be conscious the entire time, so you have some control over the situation. He's like, why don't you come with us, Miss Doctor?
Sure. Seem like such nice gentlemen.
We do what we can. And they escort you to one of the little huts that are set up here. There's like a couple cots in here. It looks like these are where they're staying right now. The two guys who bring in Mr. Clark, they put him on the cot, and they like grab up a little like duffel bag type thing off the floor, sling it over his shoulder, and leaves. And he goes, "All right, miss, we'll bring you some water here in a little bit. It's going through the filtration system right now. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll feel better in a bit." Closes the door, and you hear it as it locks.
What kind of place is this again? This is not a tent. This is like a...
It's like a hut.
Like a hut? Okay.
Yeah, it's a hut. Sorry, there we go. That's the music. Maybe it's a little too... No, it's fine.
And my medical supplies are still in the canoe.
You did basically get to the canoe. If you wanted to have grabbed a couple of, like your medical bag real quick, you would have been able to do so.
Okay.
Clark is like pith helmet gone. It's outside on the dirt somewhere. He is KO'd. You can give me a medicine check to try to find out what y'all were drugged with.
Yes, I would like to do that, please. Medicine is different from first aid. Okay. Ooh, extreme success.
An extreme success. It seems y'all were given a form of tranquilizers, some kind of tranquilizers. You were sipping your coffee, and your system seems to have, because everyone needs different dosages of anesthesia and things just based on, a lot of factors. You're a doctor, this kind of thing. It seems that you were able to resist the tranquilizer effect more than Mr. Clark was able to, Mr. Lewis. He drank his coffee very quickly. He hasn't had a lot of water today, and it seems that this affected him a bit more, probably based on any medication he might be taking. It could have had a greater effect. So he's probably going to be out for a few hours.
Is there anything I can do to, wake him up? Anything that I have?
You could try to hook him up a quick IV. You've got a little emergency saline IV. That would probably help him come to quicker. You could probably cut down his recovery time to about an hour.
Okay. I don't know how long it's going to be until these guys come back.
Yeah, well, if they suspect that they successfully tranked him, you're betting, since they knew how much to put in the coffee without killing you guys.
Right.
You're going to anticipate they know about how long it would typically take them to wake up, which would be a few hours, 3 or 4 hours. So,
okay, I'd like to try the saline, the makeshift saline.
Yeah, and with an extreme medical success, I will allow you to make that part of your diagnosis and just kind of treat him, get him hooked up. You find a rusty nail, you can hook it up to elevate it and get it in there. And it seems that they're having quite a heated discussion outside. You can't understand everything that they're saying because they're not all talking in English.
But can I pick up any words that are don't have a literal translation to whatever language they're using?
Give me a listen check.
Okay. Listen, there it is. Oof. Nope.
It's hard to hear everything. You hear the word Kangamato a couple times.
Right.
They're apparently talking about something. There's some gaps in this hut. There's no windows, but there's gaps in the boards which you could peek through, kind of get a better look. If you do, this is free. You could roll spot hidden to get more information.
Okay.
But you do see two of them I said there were 6 total. 3 of them will get out in a boat. It looks like they're getting into a boat and getting ready to go, while the other 3 are going to remain.
Okay. I'd like to roll that additional spot hidden if that's
Sure
still
thing.
available.
Yeah.
All
You most
right.
certainly can.
Whoop. Nope.
Okay, so you see 3 of them get into a boat, and a motor goes, and they go down the river a bit, leaving the other 3, including the Wade, the person you talked to. And yeah, it seems that they're setting up some stuff, moving things around camp. You see that they're actually, you notice, because they're getting stuff out of these. There's a lot of like makeshift coolers. There's a generator here that seems to be supplying power to one of these huts. It seems to have just like chest freezers in it, and you see them pull out what looks to be some animals from the freezers, or at least corpses. These seem to be poachers of some kind.
Okay.
That's all you can get from what you've figured out. Is there anything else you would like to do while you're waiting for Clark Lewis to regain consciousness?
What is in this hut apart from the 2 of us? Is it just us and like some blankets for us to be thrown down onto?
There's 2 cots because they're keeping off the ground in case of. Ooh. Yes. There's 2 cots. I got an idea. That's all. Don't mind me. There are 2 cots. Your friend is
Keeping off the ground in case of what, Lindy?
Oh, bugs, snakes. Oh, look, a snake. Yep. There's 2 cots. Looks to be like a pile of dirty clothes on the floor, and a snake kind of coiled up on some of those dirty clothes.
I jump on one of the cots.
Yep. There is an empty cot for you to jump on.
Where is Clark?
In the other cot. About
Okay,
5
he's
feet
on
over.
the cot that's off the ground. Okay, yeah, no, I jump up in the cot.
Yep. There's a little snake.
What kind of snack?
That's a great question. You can make me either a natural world or a history check to kind of try to figure out. Seen this kind of snake before? Ooh, that's a hard.
I know what I'm scared of.
Yes. So you are concerned that there's a lot of poisonous snakes in Africa. There's, the black
Is
mamba.
this? Yeah, I was gonna say, is this man
there's
Mamba-esque?
vipers. It is not Mamba-esque, nor is it Cobra-esque. It is also not Adder-esque. This would seem to be just a typical African house snake.
Typical
Just
house
typical
snake. Okay.
African house snake. It's brown. It's got a little yellow stripe around its eyes. It is not poisonous or venomous. You were very concerned. I did make a roll as to see if it was poisonous or not, or venomous or not. But it's not. It isn't. You did not get the deadly snakes. It is just a little non-poisonous snake. It's known to eat like mice and rats and other kinds of stuff. Some people keep them as pets in the States. Yep. But out of the 92 different types of snake in Africa, or in Zambia specifically, only 19 are considered potentially deadly, and 9 are capable of inflicting very painful bites. This is neither of those, so.
I take the handle end of my machete. I probably don't have my machete anymore, do I?
They took the rifle from Mr. Clark Lewis, but they let you keep the machete. They didn't seem that bothered by you having the machete.
Cool. That's good to know. They are unafraid of someone with a big old blade. Cool. So I take the handle end of the machete and I scoot the snake towards the door. Like, get under the door.
This feels like a fun check. give me either a sleight of hand or a dex. I feel like you'll choose the dex, but you know, just
scoot the snake check. Let's see what my
snake check. You successfully scoot the snake. It was a pretty sleepy snake. It was like all curled up in some guy's dirty socks. You know, just being a cozy little snake. And it is displeased that you are moving it, but it's still half awake, and it gets the picture and kind of just slides out, slithers out from under the door. The gap's big enough, it's like that big of a gap, so it's able to slide out.
Lucky. This time. How's Clark doing?
Oh, starting to come to. It's been about 45 minutes to an hour at this point. He's starting to, the trank is starting to wear off as you're flushing it through his system.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna, gently like.
Get up, come on. 5 more minutes, mother. It's not school day.
Come
on. What? Dr. Hughs. Man, where are we?
We got
Why do I have 5 feet?
Yeah, no, keep it. Don't touch it. Don't touch that.
Right, fine. I don't touch it. What?
We got drugged by the people that we came on shore to talk to. Shh. We got
Sorry, what?
tranquilized. We got drugged in the coffee that they gave us,
the
right?
Coffee. How disrespectful.
They're poachers. I'm almost positive that these are poachers who thought that we were onto them.
They took my gun. That's
yeah,
not
they
good.
No, it's not. But we could probably get out of here if we find a way out before they realize that you've woken up.
All right. Well, how do you want to go about this?
What does the back of this hut look like? How well built is this hut?
It is made from planks of wood rather than just sticks. You would, based on what he told you earlier about those criminals that were living in the swamp around the 1920s and 30s, this looks like this may have been one of their little ramshackle areas that some gang or some,
So this was like
in. It's not new.
Thrown together 50 years ago?
It was built 50 years ago, but that was 50 years ago. It was built well at the time. It's not been maintained particularly well. It looks like they threw together some repairs at this moment. Nails rather than screws were used, so that is in your favor. It's not amazing. It wouldn't hold up in a great storm, but it'd keep you out of regular rain.
And there's only 3 guys left, right, of the original 6?
3 went off in a boat, and 3 are staying here, and they seem to be getting things put together.
What do you mean by putting things together?
They're moving stuff around from like the coolers that they have, the freezers, and they seem to be organizing supplies.
Okay.
Like staging, like they're making like a staging area.
How much noise are they making?
Move. A decent bit. Yeah, it looks like if you were a poacher and maybe your location got found, you might want to move locations. It looks like they're getting things ready, staging things to maybe move some stuff.
Okay. So, judging from the noises that they are making, I would like to try to time this so that when I know that something that they're doing is making noise, I would like to try to like pop out one of the nails in one of the back boards.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You're pretty dexterous. Yes, I'm going to give you a listen check, but with a plus 30% just for you to hear when to time your dunk dunk dunks with it. So just roll a listen check and we'll add a 20 to the number you need. So you would have needed a 65. If you wanted to try to push it, you would only need a 33.
I'll try to push it because that's too many to spend luck on. God damn. Okay, never mind.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right. It's It's hard to time it, because it's not a consistent sound. It's like, oh, move these things. All right, now talk to. So you're making a little bit more noise than you would like. Now here is where I want a luck check to see if they notice the noise you're making. It seems that they do. You cannot push or spend luck on a luck check. So, you hear you're doing your things. You've got one board out. It's not quite enough. You're gonna need 2 boards out to squeeze through. And you hear it. It's very quiet outside. All of a sudden, that's not a good sign. And you hear the lock on the door open. Now you have a moment you can do one thing before this door opens. What would you like to do?
Do I have my machete?
You do. It's what you were using to hammer out the board.
Okay.
They've come to the front door. It seems they haven't done a walk around, so they don't know you've knocked out a board yet.
I'm gonna prop the board back up. Just like not slot it back into place, but just prop it up.
Just so prop it enough so that they hopefully don't notice. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Lark is going to pretend to be asleep on the cot.
Oh God, do I have time to pull down all the saline stuff, or?
Probably not. Well, if you finished his IV, you probably would have already pulled it down.
Okay.
I'll have him make a luck check for that.
Okay.
Lark's got some luck. Except for poor Charlotte. Yes, he is able to grab the stuff and put it under him.
Okay, cool.
He winces a little. Something's poking into his back, but he's pretending to be unconscious still. The door opens. And you see Wade. Now, I heard quite a bit of ruckus from in here. I'm sorry, what?
Snake in here.
There was a snake. Oh. Yeah, this is the swamps of Africa, sweetheart. They do tend to be some snakes sometimes.
There's a snake in the bed.
Goodness gracious. And he's gonna look around the room to try to see the snake.
It disappeared into some of the stuff over there where you're standing. He was over there, but there was a snake in here.
Okay, I would love for you to give me a fast talk check.
Oh dear.
No. That's a very good spot hit check on his part. But that is a successful fast talk. I'm gonna roll one more thing. 2 more things. Oh, 2 more things. Okay. Oh, okay. Lucky number 13 on the snake chart. Alright. Snake in the clothes. And he goes over and he goes, oh! I see you had a reason to get all worked up. That is indeed a black mamba. And you didn't see it. You didn't succeed on a spot hidden earlier. Not on the dirty socks where that poor little innocent African house snake was, but peeking out from behind that little pile, you do see into scales. And he goes, goodness gracious. Mind if I see that machete, ma'am?
Don't you have a gun?
Ma'am, have you tried to shoot a snake? A little more difficult than chopping it. Smaller target.
Snake, you can keep here. Look, he's asleep. Then I just crawled up on his bed when he was unconscious like that. You've got to move us to another. You've got to move us.
He yells out something. Alright, little lady. That is a highly venomous snake.
Oh, you think?
Let's move you out to a different area, and we'll long as we don't disturb it, we'll have your friend moved as well in just a moment.
I don't want to go anywhere without him, so I will stay in here as long as he's in here.
Well, I'd stay
so
near
you
at
get
the
somebody to
doorway,
move-
ma'am, rather than closer to the laundry pile.
She'll get up and like very carefully
Around the outside of the room. Yeah. Yeah, might want to quiet down a little bit too. They don't like loud noises. Right. Boys, and you see the two, the same two who dragged him in earlier, Grumble. They look and they go, oh. They're like, that is a snake, and they kind of like, they just pick up the cot this time, which you're a little relieved by, because you know there's a bunch of IV stuff hidden under Clark right now, and they grab the cot, and like, we're just gonna move you to a staging it. We're getting ready to do a bit of a move. Let's see.
What? You're not taking us with you when you move?
Oh, no. We don't want you knowing where we are when we move.
Well, you could just leave us here. We have no interest in following you. We are looking for the Kongamato and that alone. We are just researchers. We don't want any problems. We don't want any snakes. And it seems that you are magnets for both of those things.
So it would seem, my dear. So it would seem. Well, let's move you out into the, this other hut we got here. It should be less snakes. We have a turret set up for that. They go towards the big hut where you saw them moving a lot of gear out of. You go in and you see that this room is the, looks like it was the storage room. Been mostly cleared out by now, so you would see if there was any snakes. There's not any snakes in here. Just the dirt floor. You see what looks to be there was a lot of boxes in here. They're all kind of out front near the river where you could easily load them up on a boat. Which the boat comes back as you're being moved into that other
Oh, so there's
hut.
6 guys now.
6 guys. Could you make me a spot hidden check, though?
Ooh.
A success. You notice on the back of this boat is something dark. It's about a 6 to 8 foot wingspan. Not the size of the thing that you saw the other night. However, it is in the daylight, quite clearly at less than 30 feet away, man-made. It's a kite of sorts, designed to look like the Kongamato. Brownish red paint, skeleture, make it look like it. And you see there's also near it on the back, it's got a long string. Seems to tie it to the back of the boat. You imagine if the boat goes at the right speed, it'll keep it at a good glide as it goes down the river. And you notice a speaker system by it as well. That might be how that weird call got put out. And you see the boat comes back empty, and the 3 guys immediately come off and start loading crates to the back of the boat.
Right. This is a motorboat, I'm assuming.
It is.
Okay. Fast.
Yes.
Okay. So we are in the... Have we already been put into this new warehouse?
Not yet.
room? Not yet.
You're being walked there. You've got about 10, 20 feet ahead of you before you're in the new building. You could see it. It's got double doors instead of singular doors, and those doors are wide open right now, so you can see it's pretty empty.
Okay. So where are we in relation to the people who are carrying Clark?
They are like 5 feet behind you at most. They're a couple feet behind you. They're carrying the cot that he's on, and he's pretending to be unconscious still.
Okay, and the guy who's like the head honcho.
Yeah, he's dressed a little bit nicer than everybody else. He is a foot to your left. Or your right. I'll let you pick which side of him you're walking on. He's next to you.
I still have my machete.
You do?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And the guy's unloading boxes. Loading boxes.
Yes, they're loading boxes onto the boat.
How far is the boat from where we are? And or how close do we pass by the boat?
It's about equidistant to the hut. So about 20 feet. The hut's straight ahead, the boat's to your left. And your hut that you were in is like behind you, like 20 feet. And the canoe is right next to the boat that they've pulled in. But it is a motorboat, and you would imagine it goes quite fast.
I would imagine it does. I would like to... Oh, we're gonna die. I would like to...
I'm so here for this.
When we get to a point where I feel like we are as close as we could possibly get to the motorboat,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to yell, like, Clark, now! And, like, pull out my machete and go for the knees of the guy to the left of me.
Ooh, okay. I'm here for it. Okay, you think that your moment would be about now. Here we go.
Oh, this is exciting music.
Alright, I would love for you to make me a brawling check. Ooh, melee brawl.
Dang.
That'll be your machete.
I don't think I have much in that. Let's see what I have in melee.
It should be fighting brawl?
Fighting.
Yes,
I don't-
fighting
I
brawl.
don't-
It'd be on the right-hand side under the fighting tab. Should be the first skill.
Oh, okay.
Fighting's in its own section. I don't know why.
Dang, okay.
Okay. You have options. You could try to push it. You need a 12 or less. Or... you know what? I'd say he's
I don't
not
have enough
expecting
luck.
that. No. I would say he's not expecting that at all. So I'll give you a plus 20%. So you would need a 45 or less. So if you wanted to push it, you would just need like a 22.
You know what? Let's push it. We're dead either way. Let's push it.
Ooh, so close.
Dang.
So close. All right, but you give a swing.
Mm-hmm.
You swing your machete. You yell, Clark, no! Clark is gonna jump up. Right now the cot is basically a hammock because it's on the ground right now.
Mhm.
He's going to pull out his boot knife, which he has on him, which they didn't know to take. He's gonna try to make a swing. That's a really bad roll, Clark.
Clark, my guy.
You both swing and a miss. Which means
We're
in
bad at
Cthulhu,
this.
they have a couple of options. They can either try to dodge if you succeed, or they can try to fight back. I will say they're caught so off guard though that they're not allowed to fight back right away. Because they were not they thought he was completely unconscious. They were caught totally off guard. So I'm not gonna let them do that. But you both whiff on your attacks. You can still run if you would like to.
Yeah.
Run towards the boat.
We're running towards the boat.
Run towards the motorboat. Okay. For this, I would like a dex check just to see how far you get.
Sure. Come on, baby. Big money, no whammies.
Hard success. You know, Clark is not as young as he used to be. He's 62. But he is making it towards the boat. You are able to get to the boat with a hard success, which means that you're probably gonna be the one driving it, not Clark.
That's fine.
Have you ever driven a boat before?
Absolutely not.
I'm here for this.
That boat.
Wonderful. All right, so you guys, he's almost to the boat. He's like right there. They're like, there's a bunch of yelling as people are realizing what's happening. The three people like who are loading stuff, they're all holding the boxes and like, what's happening? So there's a bit of chaos that you can take advantage of a little bit. However, some people are not happy with what you've done. So we're going to so that's like the surprise round. We're gonna go to the next round where you, since you started the action, you get to make a move first. Would you like to start up the boat? And,
Yep, I'm gonna start the boat.
We're gonna use the drive skill for this. Just give me a drive check. For boat.
Oh, I don't.
Hard success.
Is there a different skill for boat? Or is it just...
it'd be a specific skill, but it's a boat's like a motorboat's not that hard. You can take a 30-minute lesson and learn how to drive a motorboat. It's not that difficult to figure out.
Okay.
Now to pilot it really well, yes, but that is a hard success on that boat check. You get in there, you are cool as a cucumber under pressure. You are able to get that boat started. They left the keys in. They weren't expecting anyone to do it, so you're able to turn it over, get the thing, and you are starting to pull away from the shore, which is going to mean Clark needs to make a success here to get on this boat. He's going to push it. He succeeds with a push. He barely clambers over the side. And he's like, go, go, go. However, these people aren't happy that you're still in their motorboat. This is their plan of escape to not get caught. Poaching under the alleged guise of a Kangamato, so... However, some of them are holding crates and they're not all armed at the moment. So, there's only one person who is armed and ready to go at that moment, and it is Wade. He's gonna pull out his pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna shoot. And that is a 38, which is a regular success for him. If you would like to not get shot, I would need you to make me a dodge check. With a hard success, you are able to avoid the bullet. You turn to look back over your shoulder at the right time, and the bullet whizzes by and goes into the water beyond. And you're able to pilot the boat down and out of sight. You hear yells. You hear a couple more gunshots.
Hey, shooting at us, the goddamn animal!
I believe the boaters don't want us knowing their dirty secret.
It doesn't have to shoot at us!
Frankly, I'm just surprised that they were going to drug us and leave us there, but, shooting doesn't surprise me. Poachers are usually quite violent, sort. I wish I had my rifle. Oh,
Look in the boxes. There's some boxes on here. See what they've got in there.
Oh! This one's full of ivory.
That's not very helpful.
This one is, pangolin scales. Okay. This one, and he's starting to look through the things. And since they only had one motorboat, and you left them with a canoe, they're not gonna catch up to you at any point. However, you do have to navigate back around at some point. You don't have your long-range radio. That is in the canoe. This does seem to have a radio of sorts on it, but it will take some time to figure out. But in the meantime, you are safe from the poachers. You've escaped their clutches. And all you have to do, all that's left, and you actually, you look behind you, and you see the Kangamato kite that they had. That's all the evidence you're gonna need to implicate them in some poaching and some cover-up stories. So you have all the evidence you need to disprove them, and all 6 of them are not going to fit in that canoe. So, if you get back to the airship quickly, or to the edge of the swamp quickly, get within radio range of somebody, you could probably report them in. They will get caught. And probably a lot of charges, including kidnapping, assault, and drug use, all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I would like you and our good Clark Lewis to make me some navigate checks.
Oh my
Dang.
god.
Clark's not rolling well. But you, there's a little map of the swamps that they seem to have updated on their little dashboard next to the boat steering wheel. And you are able to successfully navigate back into radio distance of the West 7 airstrip. And of that, there's a settlement, actually. Not by the West 7 airstrip, but like a little bit further south. You can make your way there, and they will be able to contact the authorities of the area to capture these poachers. So it will take the better part of the day to navigate there. Take you 3-4 hours. By that point, it's probably gonna be mid-afternoon. And you know what radio channel it is to set to contact the Lexingtons, and able to. Hello there. Did you contact us?
We found something incredible. I think we found all the evidence that you'll need about not just the Kongomoto, but also the poachers in the area.
Poachers in the area. That sounds not good. Was the Kongomoto real?
No. Unfortunately, it seems like it was just a cover up by the poachers. They had like this fantastic kite and sound effects and all the bells and whistles. And I think the additional part of the creature underwater and going after the soft bits on corpses and people and whatnot, I'm pretty sure that was just alligators and hippos.
Right then. Right. Where are you at now? We got the plane up and running. Again, we did some surveys of the rhinos of the area. Fewer than we'd like, but since your work's concluded early and our work's concluded early, we could come pick you up. Or meet you at the airstrip again if you are able to get there. You're in the Jeep, the Range Rover still?
Oh no, we lost the Range Rover, unfortunately. It got caught in some quicksand, and there's a small poacher settlement down the river a little bit from where we are currently that we've left some of our supplies there. So if someone goes down there to pick up those poachers, maybe they can grab our supplies while they're down there.
Right. Oh, but Clark's real upset about Charlotte. Anyways,
just heartbroken.
Heartbroken. All right. Well, I'll contact the authorities. There's a bit of the stream that runs up to a village. We'll have the authorities meet you there, and Keisha and I will head to the land strip. If you could get a ride from the authorities to the land strip, the plane, because I don't think there's a good area to land outside the village. We'll meet you there this evening. We'll bring dinner.
Oh, thank God.
All right. Good work. Can't wait for your full report. We'll see you in a few hours.
See you then.
Right. And it was a little crackly, a little staticky. It wasn't as nice of a radio as you had, but, it does the trick. You're able to pull up to this village, where you actually recognize a couple of the children, who had ran up to you, and they're like, "Wow, you didn't get eaten at all!"
No, we didn't. Isn't that incredible? Look, over there. You see that? No, there's no need to be scared. It's just, you can go on, touch it. Go on. It's just a kite. It's just a kite.
You what?
I can't hear you at all, Lindy.
What?
It's nothing. It's fake. It's a big old toy. You can just touch it.
Toy?
Yeah.
They look very suspicious. They will cautiously approach. The bravest one will cautiously approach. I'm not afraid.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You can just go out and touch it. It's just a kite. But you should be careful in the water though. That's something that you do need to be careful about.
Okay. It's just a kite. they're like, what? And then all the other kids run over and they're poking at it. And they're like, it's too heavy and we can't make it go. You figure it probably needs the speed of the motorboat
Of the boat, yeah.
to get it airborne. But they're trying. It's also pretty heavy.
It needs a lot more, oomph to get it going in the air.
Like a donkey?
Something like that. Maybe a little faster.
Okay. Our donkey's pretty slow.
Do you
He's
know
old.
where the landing strip is around here?
Oh yeah, we could take you on the donkey.
She looks to Clark. How's the donkey sound?
I think the donkey will be fine, or we could walk. It's about the same
Sure.
speed.
We could
I've seen
walk.
that donkey. Okay.
I like the sound of walking.
And the authorities come. It seems that there's like a jeep that comes up, very official looking. It's got like Zambia Wildlife Patrol on the side. And they ask Clark a bunch of questions, and he points to like the kite, the map the poachers have, the crates in which they immediately like put yellow tape all over the crates with like confiscate, like evidence confiscate, blah blah blah. And they actually will get on the boat and drive it back down the river.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we do that, while they're looking in the crates, I was wondering if they found one of the crates that had like shoes or stamps or something that was what they would use to make the footprints.
That is a good question. You were able to look through the boat. It's not in a crate, but like like the thing that you put life preserves, like life vests in. In there are some boots.
Okay.
With big fake feet taped onto the bottom, like. Made out of
I'd like
wood.
to take a lot of pictures of those and like a lot of pictures of the kite.
There's like 4 pairs of them. They'll let you take a pair of the boots if you want.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll take a pair of the boots. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. And they will allow you to take some pictures. You've got the Polaroid's like a neck thing. Have that on you. You can take as many pictures as you like. You take the pair of the boots. They're your size. It's kind of funny. Yeah, you're able to. Seems that these poachers were framing it on a conga model to get more poaching done. And they will take the boat back to the poachers' hideout. You see, there's like 12 of them with guns. It seems that they're going for a full-on roundup of these guys to confiscate anything and everything they might have.
Good.
Yep, it seems that you've done a very good job presenting all of this evidence in a very clear and concise way. And a map to where their hideout is, basically. You walk to the airship. It's several miles. It's gonna take a few hours, but you get there in time for dinner. You see Bob has set up a little table with 4 chairs. It's got a tablecloth. There's like a little flower in a vase in the center. It looks like the meal for today is like a lovely like rice dish. It's like rice and some meat, and some fruit and stuff. It's pretty simple, but good. Miss Acacia's like, oh, welcome back. It's not even the full 2 nights, but it seems y'all were quite expedient. Please tell me all about it.
We blaze right through everything
Covered
that
in
we
quicksand.
yeah,
Still. It's a
covered in
mess.
quicksand. Wet. We look drenched in sweat. We look awful, but we sit down.
All right, the food's very good, and you're given a nice option of a nice tall cup of tea, nice high piping hot mug of tea.
Is it just plain tea? No milk? No
It's
sugar?
a Irish breakfast tea.
Perfect.
Would you like cream or sugar?
Oh no, thank you.
All right. He pours himself some. It's like the little creamer, like you get at a restaurant, little creamer, like little sugar packets. He'll do that. Right. So, tell us exactly what you found. How it went.
So we discovered that the Kongomato that the people have been seeing was actually just an enormous kite that had been constructed by these poachers who were using it as a cover to do their poaching and have people not go after them. So when people would see the Kongomoto flying over the area, they'd be too scared to go and investigate the area, and that's where
good
the poachers.
heavens.
Yeah. Horrific. Disgusting.
Really? That's it. You have pictures, photograph?
So many. So we got all these,
wonderful.
just like pulls out the like stacks of Polaroids that they took.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to have to contact the Zambian authorities. I really want that cat. Don't you think it would look nice in the barn we have in
I
Virginia?
think it would look absolutely fabulous.
Oh, we could put it in the
last place-
office. Oh my goodness. Wintercroft, pterodactyl. Oh, it could be so exciting. We just have to get it past Lena. She doesn't like that kind of garish thing. But we'll find it. We'll try. I'll just make a nice donation to the force, and we should be able to get that Kangamato cat. So exciting. Do you need seconds? You two look exhausted. Quite a mess.
Yeah, seconds would be fantastic. Thank
Bob,
you.
and he's like, yes, of course, ma'am. Hey, we'll scoop you up some more food.
Thank you, Bob.
It's very good. Better than camp food. Alright, well, if that's all, once we finish dinner, since we're, doing pretty good on time, I figure we can fly back to, Lusaka and stay the night in a nice hotel before we have to go back to Wintercroft.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I need a real shower.
Yes.
And a smoke. I think I lost all mine.
Oh, here, she'll pull out one. She'll hand you one. She's got like a cigarette holder, like from like the 1920s, and she smokes her cigarettes that way.
I'm not that fancy.
He's got filters. Yeah, fancy.
Oh, cheers.
The menthols, is that all right?
Oh, sure.
All right. And she'll have a cigarette with you, as Bob serves dessert, which is. It's some like fresh fruit with like some whipped cream on it. It's nothing super fancy, but it's nice. It's refreshing after the past couple days you've had. She goes, oh, and I heard about the loss of your poor dear Charlotte, Clark. So don't worry, I've already put in an order for a new Range Rover for you, and it should be delivered to your address within the week.
Wonderful. That's
Thank you,
great.
ma'am. I knew I won't completely replace Charlotte, but I'm sure it should be great. A tear glistens but doesn't fall from his eye. And you have a lovely dinner. And could you give me a spot hidden check as the table's being loaded up into the plane and everything, and y'all are getting ready? It's about sunset as you guys are getting ready to leave. And you don't see, it's over the Jiundu Swamps, large 6 to 8 foot wingspan creature flies over the Jiundu Swamps. We're dipping deck down below the tree line. As you all get back onto the plane, the bell, which has been repaired. And let's see how she flies on the way back. She only had a glass of wine with dinner, so more sober than she typically is. Oh, and it shows. It's a smooth ride back to Lusaka. You're able to get in. It's nice, comfortable flight, very smooth. She only starts drinking from her flask about halfway through, and the landing is also pretty smooth. Get in, it's nighttime, but they have a hotel, so, already booked. You have your own room. It's one of those, 5-star hotels. It's a nice hotel. Like, the front staff look at you when you come in, and then they see that you're with Miss Lexington, and they'll go, oh, yes, how can we help you? There is a jetted tub in your hotel room. Also a waterbed, because this is 1985 and it's fancy.
Wonderful.
Yep. So, you're able to get a hot shower, a solid night's sleep, and then you're able to submit your report to Wintercroft. There's paperwork that needs to be filled out, but it's not terribly long before the next day you're able to catch a flight back to New York. you file your paperwork, and as you do, you flew back on the same plane as Ash and Lek and Acacia, so you got to ride in first class with them.
Oh.
It's very nice. Champagne the whole flight back. And they had a large crate loaded up onto the plane, which you would only assume is the Kangamato kite that Miss Lexington has already somehow secured, even though it has barely been evidenced less than 24 hours ago, but, you know, money works in obvious ways. You get back, file your report with Carol. Your cats are very happy to see you.
Oh, my babies.
We've only been gone for a few days, but it sure was.
That's forever in cat years, yeah.
And you're allowed to keep the boots and a couple of the Polaroids if you want for your own.
Oh, absolutely. I'll pin those up on the refrigerator.
Put those up on the refrigerator. And how does Dr. Bronwyn spend her first day off after getting back and, you know, waking up to a new morning after having that wild adventure, getting drugged by poachers and kidnapped and escaping? How does she decompress that next day?
Oh, you know, that was actually, it was a lot of fun, believe it or not. She's gonna just laze around for a little bit, allow herself a day in. She's gonna, you know, paint her nails and take a long soak and sort of watch the phone, hoping for another adventure.
Wonderful. And I think as you're watching the phone, hoping for another adventure, that is where we're going to call it for this evening. Thank you very, very much. I hope you had a lot of fun. I normally say this is where we all go around, but it's just two of us. So why don't you tell us who you are, where we can find you, and your favorite moments from tonight's game. Hannah? Dr. Brown.
I am Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at Hanimation Art, on Blue Sky at Just Plain Hanimation, and almost everywhere else at Hanimation Studios. I will be at various conventions for the next couple of weeks, unfortunately, but after that I am super excited to join in on this campaign and play some Call of Cthulhu. And thank you so much, Lindy, for giving me the opportunity to play. This has been so much fun. I so much enjoyed all the twists and turns and all the the exciting unexpected stuff that happened because of the failed rolls were so much fun. I love never knowing what's going to happen and possibly dying. That's always an exciting thing to happen. So,
wonderful.
I think that's me.
Absolutely fabulous. I'm glad you enjoyed it. My favorite moments was your giant pink suitcase. That is at some point, it's like a month later, it makes its way back to you. They had to find it in the swamps first.
Oh, my poor battered suitcase.
Your poor battered pink suitcase. It's got like some new scratches and a couple nibble marks. Like some of the wildlife got curious about it while I was sitting in the swamp. But you get it back at some point.
I think I learned a lesson from this. I think my lesson is to pack less and dress more for the environment that you might end up in as opposed to the environment that you hope to end up in. So, yeah, you know, things happened, lessons were learned, good stuff.
Good stuff indeed. So yes, I loved your big pink suitcase. I also loved your, like, this is a stupid idea, but I'm gonna do it, of just like breaking free and going for the boat, and then you stole that boat like you owned it. You did so well with that boat heist, and then navigating out of there. It was like you were a pro. I was so excited. Also, just getting to throw snakes in your hut. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. That was awesome. Fabulous.
You gave me a fear of snakes, and I was like, I'm sending you to Africa.
I love black mambas in my socks. That's, you know, where I like to find them.
That's my next ska band. Black mambas in my socks. I don't know, but yeah, I enjoy it when I get to introduce a new friend of mine or player to Call of Cthulhu. Because everyone makes such interesting and different decisions as a new player than they do as like a veteran Cthulhu player. So it was really fun to see how you addressed situations that happened. So thank you for that. You can find me here at Laugh Love Lindy several days a week. You'll find us next on Monday for our Mondays in Exandria game, where it's a D&D 5e game, and we're making the best of life decisions and the worst of life decisions. But it's okay because we're heroes. Is it an acronym? Yes, but we also kind of sort of halfway believe it, some of us more than others. Next Tuesday is not going to be a Stargate Flames of Hope game, because we had it last Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, we'll be back with Stargate Flames of Hope with a new guest, mystery guest. I'll announce it next week, once we get some things finalized, all exciting. And then next Wednesday, we will indeed be back with Call of Cthulhu Below the Land of Fire. You have met the wonderful backup that is going to be sent to help our investigators, our group in that session. I'm very happy to announce that Dr. Bronwyn will be joining them once Hannah does her cons. So probably about mid-October at some point. The exact date, we'll work it out. But yes, we'll be back with our regularly scheduled Cthulhu campaign. So thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, have fun and play games.